Can you believe it? It's finally here. It's the most wonderful time of the year, unless you get stressed out about how to pay for it. SaveWithConrad.com can help you make this the best Christmas ever. You won't make a house payment for the next 2 months. That's right. Skip your next 2 house payments and use all that cash for your extra holiday expenses. And come next year, you're going to have a lower monthly payment. Don't put Christmas on a credit card. Pay your credit card debt off at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, make this a season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little boy a favor. Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack. Show some you. Look nice when you get naughty. Go to Manscaped.com. Use the promo code WHW for free shipping and 20% off. The new Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. Got everything you need to help you deck the halls from your face to your balls just in time for mistletoe season. That's right. The Platinum Package has each product from the best-selling Performance Package Plus. You got the Ultra Premium Body Wash, the Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner, the Ultra Premium Deodorant, everything you need to be smelling good from your Santa hat to your candy cane. That Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer is necessary. You got to get all those scrubs cleaned up. The Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer is going to take care of you, and so is that proprietary advanced skin safe technology. It's going to take care of those delicate little holes. Got a 4000K LED light on this bastard. It's going to light you up like Rudolph. And now that you've groomed the candy cane, all that's left is to make sure you don't smell like a reindeer. That's what we're talking about, shower products. And guys, you got to do this if you're wanting to bird bath them bitches, okay? You got to get it trimmed up. Then you got to make sure it smells good. That's why they're getting you the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner. This Platinum 4.0 sitting under the tree is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. They got a cool little stocking stuffer, too. That new brand new body buffer. Way better than your sorry-ass old loofah. One more time, Tony. Hit them with our special offer.
Before I do, Conrad, reminder of the Crop Mop, which is individually wrapped disposable wipes that you just open up and wipe yourself off, and you are fresh to go. I use them all the time. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com and use code WHW. Manscaped. Get your jingle balls ready for the holidays.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, a very sleepy, a very tired, a very stressed Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man?
I'm doing great. Don't worry about being sleepy, about being tired, because this is the life that I chose. This is what I decided to do. This is what happened back in 2017.
Uh-oh.
A motherfucker from Alabama contacted me and said, let's fucking do a fucking podcast in wrestling. And I said, fuck you. And Lois said, you better do it. You got to pay for your daughter's wedding. And I did it. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, I'm doing wrestling again. And all of a sudden, 3 years later, here I am. Fat, happy, fuck you. So anyway, how's everybody doing on your end?
Man, everybody's great. And I love that you being involved in wrestling again, we can still somehow manage to pin on Lois. That makes me happy.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Blame all kinds of stuff on her. But no, Conrad, I'm doing great. And I know we're going to the holiday season right now. You know, into Thanksgiving this coming week, and a lot of things, good things going on. I'm very fortunate on many levels. I'm very, very fortunate. So there you go.
As folks are listening to this, tonight is a very Thanksgiving Eve special edition of AEW Dynamite with a new world heavyweight champion, Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Of course, Jamie Hayter is the new ladies champ.
Yeah.
Unbelievably, the Death Triangle retained over the Elite, but we're starting a best of 7 series. And Tony, if you're thinking like I think, that makes me think of the good old days with Jim Crockett Promotions. Does it not?
Makes me think of 1986 and Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff, which was And I guess they've had best of sevens since then, but that's the one that I think most fans remember, at least most fans who grew up in the, during the Crockett era.
Nitro had a best of 7 with Chris Benoit and Booker T.
Yes, they did. Yeah. That one I don't remember.
Well, it was 1998.
Yeah.
98, you were probably at the peak of your professional career, but personally, you felt like you were having more fun than ever in the Crockett days. So I get it.
Yeah, right. It's something we've talked about many times. It's the Crockett era was, part of my fandom, and I was just so excited about being in wrestling. 1998, I thought, what the hell am I doing in this shit? And now here we go. Now, and I'm thinking, wow, I've got a great life, and I'm very, very blessed. There was something that happened at Full Gear that you probably didn't see, but when that little no good with a horrible spray tan piece of shit, MJF.
He flipped you off.
Yeah, but did you see him take my drink and throw it in my face?
No.
Yeah, he did. He took my monster and threw it in my face. So
he threw your own monster in your own face.
On my own monster in my own face, and then walked off. So
now, have you ever thrown that monster in Lois's face?
No, I have not.
Well, I recommend it.
Okay. All right.
A wise old man told me sometimes if you just throw it in their face, they know what to do.
Well,
just enjoy that delicious monster.
There's a difference between a monster and a wild field mouse.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I think we both agree. Fuck MJF. He's a terrible person.
He's a horrible person.
A lot of people listening to this think, oh, he's a real heel. No, he's a really bad person. There is a difference between playing a character on TV and just being a piece of shit human being. And we both know MJF to be a piece of shit human being, like the worst among us, right?
Right. And also, I don't know if have you heard talk about a reality show coming out?
The rumor and innuendo, I didn't think I was allowed to talk about that here on the program, but the rumor and innuendo is you guys have already begun filming it.
Well, there's talk about it. Put it that way.
Okay. And what is that? You said, have you heard about it? And I said, yes.
I was asking you, have you heard about it? Because I've heard about it. So, you usually know more about shit than I do.
Well,
I get my dirt from you. So
I won't say something that I shouldn't say here on the program, but let me just say, watch Dynamite tonight.
Thank you. Watch Dynamite tonight.
If you like the same kind of things that I like, watch Dynamite tonight. You'll be glad you did.
Yeah.
Just take my word for it.
Yeah. Gonna be a lot of fun.
Take my word for this too. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to be talking about Starrcade 87, the fallout from that show.
Wow.
When we do a watch along from World Championship Wrestling Season 3, Episode 47 from November 28th, 1987. This is me doing my best Waka Boom Yuckster. Yuck from Tony Schiavone. Come on now. Fire up your peacock to Season 3, Episode 47. November 28th, 1987. This is going to be a lot of fun, Tony.
It is going to be a lot of fun. I love your yucking voice. And thank you, everybody. Welcome to World Championship Wrestling. Tony Schiavone and David Crockett. Nikita Koloff in the ring. Okay. Sunday. I hated my voice back then, man.
Imagine if you used to do like, I'm sure on the radio you had to do spots for car dealers. Pull it in, push it in, drag it in. Sunday.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. So what are you waiting for? Get your kick out. Season 3, Episode 47, November 28th, 1987. And Tony, I believe stupid ass Dave Silva has a countdown queued up for us. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let's see if he can push a button. Dave, go ahead.
You know it's all about your money. Tony Schiavone, baby. You know it's all about your money.
Let me tell you something, little skinny motherfucker. I will beat your ass, plus I will beat your ass in video games. I know that you're freaking lying. How's it gonna feel to go back to Connecticut and tell the fuckers that an old 63-year-old man beat your ass?
There it is. And ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the footage from Starrcade 87.
Just as old school and as raw as you can get for an entrance, right? I mean, I know it's Flair and the music and the robe and it all looks great, but compared to what we come up with these days, and I'm talking about us and the WWE, it is light years difference, isn't it?
But you know what? It still felt big. It still felt special, especially
Sure.
for the day. The robe we see him wearing into the cage right here as we get ready for Starrcade 87. He, of course, trying to reclaim the world title. He is successful, beating Ron Garvin to become the world heavyweight champion again. That robe is in the personal collection of Mr. Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish. How about that?
Wow, how about that? Only want to be with you.
I thought you were more of a wagon wheel guy. Speaking of wagon wheel,
I like
looks like you own a few based on this hairstyle. Let's take a listen.
Welcome back to World Championship Wrestling. I'm Tony Schiavone, your host for two of what has to be the two most tremendous hours in the history of the Superstation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're starting it back in 87. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can.
Things. The NWA has a new World Junior Heavyweight Champion. He is Nelson Royal. Also here today on this program, a big six-man tag team event. That'll be in our second hour. We'll talk about that. And also we're going to take a look at a situation between Barry Windham and Larry Zabisco. But let me tell you also, some titles change, some titles remain the same during Starrcade. Nature Boy Ric Flair is the World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Ronnie Garvin. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, defeating Lex Luger. We're going to take a look at both of those matches and also hear a very emotional special interview from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes himself, and also this man, the World Television Champion, Nikita. Congratulations. Possible, camarada.
Possible.
What do you think he's saying here?
Possible, little guy with funny haircut. Look at them fans. Yes, absolutely. Do you know I found my wife in this audience one day? That's right. She was Miss Alabama. And I said, do you want to date Nikita Koloff? And she said, yes, I'll date Nikita Koloff. No, she went, yes, I'll date Nikita Koloff. And then I said, no, my real name is Scott Simpson, but I changed my name to Nikita.S. Koloff. And so I'm really from Golden, Minnesota. And she said, I don't care. I just want to marry a wrestler. And I said, you know, Tony, Shatoata, Tony, is what I said. And I also said, you know what? You, one of these days, I'm going to be a preacher, and you're going to be an old, miserable, fat guy in wrestling again, right? Shatoata. And then I asked Miss Alabama to make me a pumpkin pie. And she said, I don't know how to make a pumpkin pie, but I can buy you one at the store. And I said, no. American women need to know how to make pumpkin pie because it's the holidays. And she said, well, I don't know how to make a pumpkin pie, but I know what else I can give you. And I said, gotta go.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit us over the head with it, but instead, gotta go. Cut out just perfect. Look at that mustache, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
How much coffee got caught up in that mustache?
Oh, Lord. Oh, man, look at just, man, I'm just talking right in the camera.
Mr. Jim Crockett about that interview and, of course, about Starrcade itself. We are ready to go. Let's go to the ring.
There's that yucking. And here comes the Rock and Roll Express. And, of course, as we're talking, man, the Rock and Roll Express, they're getting ready to get murdered. They're going to die this weekend at the Dorton Arena. The Briscoes are going to end their careers and their lives. The Briscoes are not here to fuck around.
No, they're not.
Sunday.
Yeah. Man,
Shout out to those guys, though,
Yeah.
doing Ricky Steamboat's return, and they're on the card. And so is the new NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, Ricky's son, Kerry, who was a delightful young man. And interestingly enough, if you ever find yourself in, I think it's called Mooresville, isn't that where Nelson Royal's Western store is?
Yeah, that's where his ranch was, of course, the late Nelson Royal. And
He's got a boot store there still, a country Western store. Of course, he's no longer with us, but the family still has it. And as you exit the store, hung above the door is his old NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship that they're talking about him winning at Starrcade. How about that?
I just talked about that. And Nelson not only was the guy who, I guess he contracted to the big gold belt.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, his name is actually permanently engraved on the belt. So if you remove the belt from the plates on the back, it says that the belt was ordered for Nelson Royal's Western store. It has the address and everything.
Wow, very cool.
So yeah, lots of guys had their name on the front of the belt. Nelson Royal was there the whole time on the back of the belt. Little trivia. Who would have guessed, taking a look at this, that Teddy Long would have been in the Hall of Fame before the Rock and Roll Express? Not I.
You just can't really guess what's going to happen in wrestling. You know, you really can't. You have no idea. You can't put. I mean, look. Let's guess what's going to happen in 20 years from now. I mean, it's
right.
in wrestling. In life, you can't obviously, but in wrestling, because it's so fluid and so crazy and just nuts and you know, same crowd. I just same people. There's different ones at times, but there's the regulars who are always there.
Right.
That old couple in front, man, it's like, what happened to those guys? They must have got lost going to Perkins or something.
Some of our listeners don't know what Perkins is.
It's a breakfast restaurant, 24-hour restaurant.
Wait. You said it correctly there. I thought it was restaurant.
No, I've learned a lot since working with you.
Oh, fuck off. I hate you so much.
I have. I used to say theater, and now I say theater. So I learned a lot. And I used to say, oh, what? Listen, here comes an ambulance. You can hear the siren. But now I say, hey, here comes an ambulance. You can hear the siren.
I don't talk like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, all you Alabama people do. Hey, by the way, how about those Tennessee Volunteers?
How about them? Just got that dick broke off in them.
Wow,
how about
man.
the precious Ole Miss Rebels?
Yeah.
Just had the Arkansas Razorbacks just breaking off in there. And then I see these stupid ass Alabama haters like, y'all only beat Austin P by 34.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't you get your shit together?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Tennessee thought, man, they beat Alabama, that they should be the national champs. Reality sunk in.
Reality has sunk in. Of course, Georgia still top of the land, top of the heap. Michigan had a scare. TCU had a scare. Ohio State had a scare.
Yeah.
Georgia still clearly the best team in ball this year, but next year you won't have a 37-year-old quarterback and things might be a little different. Seriously, your quarterback is the exact same age as Joe Burrow. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy, isn't it?
I mean, I think it's really cool that you guys have. You remember that movie, that football movie that Sinbad was in, Unnecessary Roughness? That's the Georgia team.
Okay.
Sinbad came back to play when he was like 35 years old.
Okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But by the way, I'm for. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm for too. I'm for a lot of things in college sports.
That
Here
big
we go.
body drop. He did not. I mean, he fell right on his. He may have broke his coccyx the way he landed. I bet it's a double drop kick. Let's see.
And he's down again.
Yeah,
Now, from what I understand,
Uh-huh.
we've got a controversial promo here from the Midnight Express coming up.
Oh, wow.
I think there's a line in here that would actually cost Jim Cornette his job with the NWA like 3 years ago.
Whoa.
I could be wrong, but let's
Yeah.
see if this is it. I think this is the episode.
Okay.
Okay, Jim Cornette.
Punk, that's a big deal. Big two nobodies, you jerk. I meant it when I said your daddy was alcoholic and your mother's ugly, too. His mother's as ugly as the day is long. Let me tell you something. Everybody can see plainly all across America that the Rock and Roll Express managed to weasel out with their filthy, stinking, low-down lives out of Starrcade. Despite everything we can do, they're just too slippery to grab a hold of. They're like those slugs that show up on the back porch under a cardboard box after a heavy rain. You got to pour some salt on them, and then they curl up. Well, let me tell you something, Rock and Roll. Since you got out alive, you've been making noises about these, brother. The United States Tag Team Championship belts. Well, I got news for you. We may not be able to get rid of you because you're so stupid you don't know when you've been beat, but we dadgum sure can keep these belts away from you because you're not good enough to beat the Midnight Express in the ring, flat in the middle, and never have been. And the Bunkhouse Stampedes are coming up in December, and everybody's all excited about it. I got the baddest tag team in the world. I got the baddest man in the world. And Jimmy Crockett, you better be there every night, brother, with cash money, because I'm going to have my mother's butler, Thurston, down there personally every night to cart those money bags off on his back. And let me tell you one thing, Dusty Rhodes. Last year, you cheated my man Big Bubba out of the finals at Bunkhouse Stampede. Everybody knew he should have won it because he won the most money. Not the most events, but the most money. And that's what everybody's after is money. But you got together with Jimmy Crockett, you cheated him. Well, Dusty Rhodes, I know you're an expert on everything. It smells like a horse. But this year in those Bunkhouse Stampedes, we got a few surprises for you. And I understand you got that United States heavyweight title belt around your waist now. Well, the United States Tag Team Champions, being the All-American boys that they are, Dusty Rhodes, being the American dream that they are. They're the American dream to grow up looking good, grow up winning belts and titles and money. That's what the American dream is. And either one of them, Beautiful Bobby or Sweet Stan, Dusty Rhodes, might just challenge you for that U.S. heavyweight belt that you got around your waist so proudly from Starrcade. Beautiful Bobby, I think, would take it. Sweet Stan, I think, would take it. We might have to just flip a coin to see, Dusty Rhodes, who gets the honor of whipping your you-know-what and taking that gold away from you. And Big Bubba Rogers, the only man in the world that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia. He's going to win the Bunkhouse Stampede.
There it was.
Fans, we'll be back right after this timeout.
And right now feels like a good time for us to take a timeout. They're taking one, so we will too. I'll hit it at 11:50 is what we'll do.
All right, hit it right.
And there it is, 11:50. You know what that means? It's time to talk about our glorious. That's right.
The glorious what?
That dick hair.
Okay, I just the Dave Silva music gets so hard I didn't hear what you said.
We're coming in so hot.
Yeah, baby.
It's never too early to start thinking about gifts.
Never too early. Never. No.
For the friends in your pants.
Yeah, in your pants.
Make this
baby.
a season to be jolly with Manscaped.
Jolly,
Do you
jolly.
need to do my boy a favor?
Yeah, baby.
And use the Lawnmower 4.0. Avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you and your
baby,
balls.
Come on, give me them balls.
Santa cares about his sack.
Oh, balls.
And so should you. Look nice when you're going to be naughty. We're going to manscaped.com and use the promo code WHW for free shipping and 20% off. But you can take 100% off that dick hair, daddy.
Oh.
Manscaped's Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop.
Yeah, baby.
The man who deserves it all.
Yeah, man.
The Platinum Package has each product from the best-selling Performance Package. You get the Ultra Premium Body Wash, the Ultra Premium Shampoo and Conditioner, the Ultra Premium Deodorant. You'll be smelling fresh from your Santa hat to your candy cane.
Woo, baby.
What about that Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer? What about that Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer? They're here too.
Whack that
What else
weed,
is
baby.
here? Proprietary advanced skin-safe technology. Both of these rascals are waterproof. There's no issue clearing the snow out of your driveway. Seriously, you know that old song about drinking pina coladas and doing stuff in the rain? Try shaving your dick in the rain. It's romantic. Trust me, I've done it. There's also a 4000K LED light on it. So if you got a little baby dick like Tony, no problem. Light the way up like Rudolph. And now that you've got a groomed candy cane, we want to make sure you don't smell like a reindeer. You got to get the hookup on these Platinum Package shower products. By the way, Manscaped shower gear, sulfate-free, vegan, going to make your skin feel hydrated, smelling fresh. But smelling good doesn't stop at the shower. Ask old Tony T. That crop preserver ball deodorant, little known fact, Tony had the stinkiest balls in all of Starbucks.
Yep.
I hooked him up with this podcast, rubbed it on, Tony Khan came a calling. It was that easy.
You know what you can do too?
What's that?
You get to rub it up in your asshole.
I do. It's like a breath mint for your beehole.
Yeah, it sure is.
Seriously. I used to rub Selsun Blue on my asshole when I was in high school. It made me feel special. Now I use the Crop Preserver ball deodorant. Now the Crop Reviver ball toner, little known fact, I use that on Eric Bischoff. We're going to have to hit that music again. Just hit it again, Dave. Let's just keep going. This is a 17-minute
1, 2, 3,
commercial. I
go.
don't care. Crop Reviver ball toner got Eric Bischoff his job with Vince McMahon. And a lot of people want to know, why did it only last 100 days? He didn't reorder. He ran out of Crop Reviver, and they ran his ass out of Stanford on a rail. So make sure you're staying stocked up. The Platinum Package 4.0 sitting under the tree is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. By the way, the perfect stocking stuffer is the brand new Body Buffer. That's right. It's an incredible body scrubber. It's going to make exfoliating a lot easier, and it's a lot cleaner than your dirty-ass loofah that your wife uses to clean stuff you don't even want to talk about. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the promo code WHW. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holidays. Sincerely, guys, I've gifted this for Christmas, and when they unwrap the package and see this, it's a hit. They love it. They talk about it. They take pictures of it. They pass it around. It's a memorable gift. If you got somebody in your life you gave a gift card to last year, they don't fucking remember you did it. They don't know what they did with it. They might not have even used it. It's probably in a junk drawer in their kitchen. This Manscaped shit, they're going to brag about, they're going to use, they're going to talk about it. They'll never forget it. And yes, you're getting 20% off with the promo code WHW, but tell them to take 100% of their dick hair off. We thank Manscaped for sponsoring today's podcast. This was a fun 17-minute ad, but it was fun. And I'm at 11:50. And Tony, I'm ready when you are. Why don't you count us back in?
All right, here we go. Back in at 3, 2, 1, play.
And it looks like we got Michael P.S. Hayes and Gorgeous Jimmy with Precious here. Going to be taking on Gladiator 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Names.
One of those guys, one of the gladiators, is Gary Royal, I believe.
Okay.
And he is the one, the gladiator that was pinned by the Mulkeys in that famous Mulkey match. Jimmy,
you're right. It is Gladiator number 1.
Yeah, it's Jimmy looks pretty good. Michael Hayes
looks like Michael Hayes.
Looks like a blonde carny.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Coming in hot there.
Yeah, babe. Why is carny such a bad word in wrestling?
I think the idea is that you're trying to manipulate people. You're trying to bamboozle people. You're trying to hoodwink people. You're trying to steal money.
Oh, well, I guess that's old term from back in the day when wrestlers didn't trust promoters.
Well, I mean, do you know what the real term is originally?
Yeah, it has to do with carnival, right? Carnival
yes,
workers, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestling started in carnivals, and it was just about how can you rig these games and fleece them and all that sort of deal. And even the term mark is from the carnival days where you would have chalk on your hand, and as people were walking by, and if you had a sucker at your booth before he went to another booth, you would pat him on the back and say, "Hey man, well, better luck next time. You know, hey man, better luck next time. Good job. You know, thanks for stopping by." But you had chalk on your hand. So as he keeps going down the boardwalk or what have you at the carnival, the other vendors would see that chalk on the back and go, "Oh, this guy's an easy mark. Let's fucking get him to play our game because he's got money and we're going to separate him from it."
Wow.
They're all workers. Another carnival term. I'm working, baby.
How about that? How about that? Wonder where the term sell came from. Where he can sell. I don't know.
Well, he can sell it. He can make the people believe that they'll buy into it.
Right. Just amazing about the, and I know there's a lot of wrestling historians out there, Jim Cornette being one of the more prominent ones, but just interesting business down through the years, how it's changed, what it was at one time, how the distrust of promoters, the distrust of the wrestling business is still evident today.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestlers still worry about their spot. And what blows me away is that, and I was talking to a couple of wrestlers about this that'll go unnamed. I said, back in the day, you would have to worry about your spot because it affected your paycheck.
Right. It doesn't now.
No. And they still worry about their spot. And I go, "Do you get a paycheck every 2 weeks?"
Yes.
And they go, "Yes." I said, "What the fuck?" Okay. So it's just amazing how the business is.
Ego, man. People want to be stars, and I get that. I mean, this is their lifelong dream, and their dream necessarily, yeah, they wanted to be well paid and they wanted to make money and they wanted to pay their bills and take care of their family, but they also wanted to main event WrestleMania or be the world champion or whatever it may be, you know.
Right. Sure. I get that.
Hey, so even the word, you said a minute ago, sell, even get over. I mean, that the whole nomenclature of this business is based on carnival shit and us versus them. We're trying to outsmart them. We're trying to take advantage. In movies, that's not necessarily the case. Something's popular. There's an agreement. We're going to entertain you for X number of dollars.
Right.
Whereas with this, the term getting over, I got over on them, meaning, I separated them from their money. I took advantage. They like me, whatever. Like get over, Mark, Carney, sell, all that. And then, of course, what you got into the business for, the old BJs and HJs, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, didn't work out for me too well, did it? Yeah. You know what I'm thinking now? That's Gary Royal coming in. I'm thinking the other guy, because I was looking closely at his eye holes. I think the other guy may be George South.
Now, when we're talking about you looking at holes,
eye holes,
right. Well, last week you had pink eye because you were looking at the wrong hole. They blasted apart.
No, that's wrong.
And you caught the pink. Well, so how's your pink eye going?
It's all gone.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's all gone. So there.
That's
you
awesome.
have to plan another mode of attack because the pink eye's gone.
Well, no, I was sincerely asking, just in time for the holidays.
You don't sincerely do shit, dude.
What does that mean? No, that's hurtful.
Oh, really?
Not really.
God, Michael Hayes. Lord have mercy.
Oh, Tony, did I tell you I got in a fight this week?
Well, okay. This is a story that we need to stop the world for. Would it have been fisticuffs, or would it have been an argument? Would it have been a bitch slap? What would it have been?
I went to dinner with some friends from work.
Okay.
And my stupid ass friend, Cassio Kid.
Oh.
And afterwards, we decided to have a few drinks at the bar and finish watching AEW Dynamite.
Okay.
And as the show comes to a close, a guy who I know and I've seen before comes over and says, "Hey, man, want to fight?"
And you said?
No. What are we, 8th graders?
Okay.
What is that?
Okay, so he called your ass out right in the bar.
And then he says, "Well, are you a pussy?"
Good God. Meanwhile, let's go to Tony Schiavone.
Okay, fans, we're back.
Speaking of pussy.
During Starrcade, there were a lot of great
Probably a little bit on that mustache.
No.
classic matches, not only from Starrcade, but from all of wrestling history. It happened Thanksgiving during Starrcade. Dusty Rhodes against Lex Luger. It was very simple, the premise of the match. Dusty Rhodes puts his career on the line. Lex Luger puts the U.S. heavyweight title on the line. And, I had a chance to talk to a lot of fans in Chicago the night before in New York and all over the country when I do have a chance. And they all said this is the impossible task for Dusty Rhodes because James J. Dillon had what he considered to be the perfect athlete. And he does. The perfect athlete to get rid of the man he always wanted to get rid of, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. But in the end, as you now know, Dusty Rhodes became U.S. heavyweight champion. Now we're going to take a look at the match. Then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more because Dusty held a press conference right after the match and a very emotional interview by the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. But first of all, let's take a look at wrestling history.
Can't wait to see the press conference. Of course, what we're seeing now, clips from Starrcade 87. Lex Luger, who does look like polar opposite of Dusty Rhodes. And of course, we've covered Starrcade 87, but maybe not either of the best match for these guys, but on paper, the next big thing versus one of the biggest stars of the last 10 years in the cage. Pretty good idea for a pay-per-view.
You know what blows me away about what I just saw is that I'm standing in front of the camera and I'm ad-libbing for a couple of minutes. I never remembered, well, that shouldn't surprise you. I never remembered having to do that.
Really?
Yeah, and that was a one-take thing, too. We went live to tape.
Right.
They would not stop the tape and say, "Oh, you got to do it again." I mean,
right.
I was winging it. And if I recall, they just said, you need to set up Dusty Rhodes and set up Dusty Rhodes' win and then set up his press conference. And I don't remember them giving me pointers about what to say. and I just kind of winged it. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you looked at social media right after or later that night, early morning, right after Full Gear, but I did a thing on social media, and I just winged that and did it in one take. And I remember thinking after I did it, when you really got to do it in one take, you can usually get it done.
Right.
And it's a lot different than we do. Listen, I don't mind doing pre-tapes, and I'm talking about with talent in the back, but I'd rather do live interviews any day of the week, because it's just, it makes the wrestlers, it makes it on point. A live interview is always better than a pre-tape. And that's why a lot of times when we're doing backstage interviews, most of the stuff we do with Jericho is live because he wants to do it live. Right. And I wish other wrestlers were like that too. But, a lot of wrestlers are young and they're not as experienced in doing promos as Jericho is. But, man, the art of the promo. I know we've talked about it before. It just amazes me that more wrestlers don't concern themselves with it.
I think they concern themselves with it. I mean, we saw a fella have his own personal dream match over the weekend.
Yeah, and it was just
what a promo.
Oh, well, Eddie Kingston's the best.
Yes.
He's the absolute best. He is, and I've told him this before, and he says, and I'll tell him this. I just absolutely love Eddie Kingston. And I tell him this, and I say, we are a better company with you in there. Yes. And he'll say, Schiavone, stop saying that. I say, it's true. It's true, because you always give us your very best performance.
Yes.
And it was, and of course it was on it was on 0 Hour, or what used to be called the Buy-In. But man, it's worth a watch. It just really is, because it was real. It was absolutely real.
If it's real to them and they feel it, it'll come through the screen, and it did.
Yeah.
Kingston is that guy pretty consistently, week in, week out.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of his on the indies. So glad to see him become a quote unquote television wrestler.
Yeah.
Sincerely, just a guy who's very deserving of all of his success.
Right. He's another one who loves to do his promos live too, instead of pre-tape. So, man, I'm so glad I got to know Eddie Kingston.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I really am. He is truly, of all the years I've done wrestling, one of my favorite guys. We're having a pretty good match here too. I get it. Dusty wasn't the greatest worker in the world,
especially by 87, and Lex Luger was so green here in 87. He wasn't as good as he would be, which was never great, but
the fans are into it, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Johnny Weaver just went down. And JJ's going to waddle over to unlock the cage, and
over. That's hurtful.
And he dropped the key like an idiot.
Not a big JJ fan, huh? I just want to blast him.
No, I like JJ. I like JJ.
I know. We're just busting balls. That's what we do.
This is UIC Pavilion, Chicago.
Home of the Chi-Town Rumble with Flair and Steamboat a few years later.
Wow. And what happened? How did Hebner get hit? I didn't see that. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
So Dusty does not lose his career, and they hand him the United States Championship. And there it is. Let's track it.
There's nothing much I can say to add to that, or add to what you're about to see, the post-match press conference. But let me say this. I've been in this sport for 4 years now, and I've seen different sides to many different athletes here on television and then in the arenas, maybe going home after the matches. You're going to take a look at a different side of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, that you've never seen before, but I have. It's a side of a man who has a tremendous amount of love for this sport and a tremendous amount of love for many fans. It's a man, Dusty Rhodes. Is he at the crossroads? You may ask yourself that question when you take a look at this. Let's take a look, truly, what is a very emotional moment for the U.S. Heavyweight Champion.
I want to take this opportunity to thank Jim Crockett Promotions and the wrestling world throughout, and the National Wrestling Alliance for tonight was a big moment in Dusty Rhodes' life. I want to say one thing, first of all, at this post-game thing here, that Lex Luger is probably the greatest athlete in this country. And the lessons that he learned tonight with Dusty Rhodes, the legend himself, will go down in history, and he will never make the mistakes again. Lex Luger will probably be unbeatable because as being in the ring on this occasion with him, he was at his best. He is a great, tremendous athlete. I'm as tired as I ever been in 16 years of wrestling. I'm very tired. It comes time now to start thinking about laying this old body down. So I'm going to go home and think about it. And if Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, has to retire in 1988, then I thank God for the relationship I've had with the public and with Jim Crockett Promotion. Thank you very much.
So I think that was Gary Juster up front.
Gary Juster up front, Rob Garner and Johnny Weaver in the back. The guy holding the belt, don't know who he was, and of course Jim Crockett there too.
That was a cool little moment. It felt like an athlete saying goodbye and winding down his career.
Yeah, I afterwards of all the great promos that Dusty has done, I think I kind of oversold that a little bit because I oversold it as, we're going to hear something great from Dusty, and it was good, but it wasn't like Hard Times or anything like that. It was just a very emotional, I may quit type thing. So,
by the way, you see Larry Zabisco here. He's going to be taking on Bob Riddle. Little known fact, that is Matt Riddle's father. WWE superstar Matt Riddle, UFC superstar Matt Riddle.
Wow.
Yes, everybody knows that that's his father, and of course we've learned that Tejo Khan is Tony Khan's uncle.
No, that's not true, but that is again a lie been perpetrated by a bunch of rednecks at the boot in Alabama, either worrying about a fight or the lengths of someone's dick hair. Now tell me about the fight again.
Oh, okay. First of all, it was butthole hair. It wasn't dick hair. But
okay,
yes.
well, it's okay. It's
so anyway, I'm sitting there minding my own business,
mm-hmm.
and a fella comes over who I know. I've had conversations with. He's actually been by the office, and I think I had a Halloween party here once, and he came to the house, and
okay,
it was a Christmas party. I don't recall. Anyway,
mm-hmm.
he goes, "Hey man, want to fight?"
Okay,
just like that, and I said, "Nope."
Good call.
And he says, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm not in 8th grade. I'm 41. I don't want to fight. That's not something grown-ups do."
You're getting old, dude.
And he goes, "Are you pussy?" That wasn't a cool thing to say, I didn't think.
Yeah.
So I stood up.
Okay.
And
took a swing.
He says, "Well, are we fighting with our shirts on?"
Oh my Lord.
And I thought, oh, is this just a way to get a fight guy to take his shirt off? Because I ain't got no bitch in me. And I take my shirt off.
Oh Lord. You
took
your shirt off? You took your shirt off in the bar?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the owner of the bar says, "Well, don't do it over there by the glassware. Do it over here."
Oh, so he was really into having a fight between.
So now because he's friends with the owner. So then I realized,
okay,
this is something that was co-opted by the owner. So
okay.
he suggested we do it in this spot instead. So
I
stepped over there and I was like, "Hey, what are we doing?" Yeah. And the guy fucking squared up and took a swing. And I was like, "Oh, this is really happening."
Okay.
I thought we were just kidding around.
Yeah.
And then someone, I think maybe the owner, goes, "Hey, open hands, like no closed fists." And I thought, what world are we in? So he took another swing, this time with an open hand.
Okay. Did he connect?
Nope. But when he did that the second time with the open hand, he left himself open, and I went straight forward with a palm strike and broke his nose, and he started bleeding, and that was the end. So I put my hands up and said, "Hey, he's leaking. Should we keep going, or is that enough?" And everyone decided that was enough. I paid my tab, and I decided it's probably time to leave.
Well, they won't fuck with you again, will they?
Well,
Well,
I hate
no.
that happened because the guy goes, tomorrow's picture day at work. And I was like, dude, I didn't want to fight. Like, I kind of like you. It's unfortunate this happened. This wasn't my idea.
Why didn't you just try to talk him out of it instead of really taking off your shirt like a fucking goof and going over?
Yeah. Listen, in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Sure. But I mean, I legitimately wasn't seated next to him, hadn't spoken to him. Nice guy. Just, his nose tells a story now. So that's cool, I guess.
You have a very interesting bar life.
I said the exact same thing to my friends. I went to lunch with my friends the next day, and one of them happened to be there. And I didn't retell the story, but he goes, so Conrad's sitting there minding his own business, and everybody's like, sure. He goes, no, I watched it. Anyway, on the way back to the office, I came to the realization. I said to myself, self, I have a fairly interesting life, I think.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway,
there you go. With Grubhub, you can stay home now.
well, the idea was I had like a Friendsgiving for some folks that I work with and whatnot.
A Friendsgiving.
Yeah. It's pretty popular.
That is the most millennial bullshit I've ever heard out of your mouth in my life.
Well, you got a bunch of.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Like a man, I gave Barry Windham the opportunity to hand over his title to Baby Dollar myself. I gave him till Starrcade, and now his time is up. He's got no more reprieves. His time is up. I'm going to take the belt as a stepping stone and move all the way to the top. Now it's Ric Flair, right?
How about Dusty Rhodes with the U.S. title? And with the information I've got, Dusty Rhodes is easy meat.
Yeah, well, Dusty Rhodes thinks he won something. Well, Dusty Rhodes, you just became another target for Baby Doll and the greatest wrestler in the world.
We have some videotape I think we'd like to see of Larry Zabisco and Barry Windham and Baby Doll. Both of you look at this with us. Take a look at this videotape.
Windham with a right hand.
So we see Barry Windham with Larry Zabisco. How about Jim Ross on the call, man?
Yeah, how about that? I don't know who's that working with him, but that is JR on the call, buddy.
Let's listen.
That woman. Zabisco just nailed Windham with a foreign object. I'll guarantee you he had something on his fist.
He's pending.
They're calling for the bell.
But wait, no, he's what?
The referee.
But he hit him.
Randy Anderson
Wait a minute.
was giving Zabisco Tim Horner of the Lightning Express in there. I mean, my gosh, she handed him a foreign object. There it is. It's right there. It's right there. Zabisco just nailed Horner with a neck breaker. But there's a foreign object. The referees. Look at Zabisco. What a sadistic. This man I think he's a psychopath. Zabisco with his obsession for a championship has just busted open Barry Windham.
Well, you see that dive from Pee Wee? That was hilarious.
Not too far from the TBS studios here, there's a place called Stone Mountain. And they got it on the side. Robert E. Lee, Jefferson Davis, Stonewall Jackson. Okay? Well, let me tell you, Windham, you had your chance and you blew it. Dusty Rhodes, you're now the target. Ric Flair, you're the bottom line. And I'm going to put each and every one of you right up next to them. And just add a bigger total to the all-time great American losers that have been in this country. And, brother, every one of you has the same option. You either hand over your titles or you're going to make the same face. Cards and granted, but nothing but a loser from coast to coast.
Larry Zabisco with Baby Doll Terry. Obviously what road he's going to take to get a title. Fans, more action.
And Tony, on that note, I think we too should take a break here. I'm going to do it at 34:45. There it is. And you know what time it is, Tony? It's time to talk about our friends at Athletic Greens. I'm a big fan of Athletic Greens. You will be too. I got to tell you, my wife actually encouraged us to start this long before they were a sponsor here on the program. See that scooper right there if you're watching on YouTube? That's all it takes, Daddy. One delicious scoop of AG1 and you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This blend of ingredients is going to support your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your focus, your recovery, your aging, all of your things. And I started it right before the pandemic, right at the start of the pandemic, actually, because my wife thought, hey, this is good for our immune system. And it was. It's also lifestyle friendly. Whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, no artificial anything, and it still tastes good. It's going to better support your sleep quality and recovery. It's going to support your mental clarity and alertness. That's less than $3 a day. It's like you're investing in your all-in-one nutrition, right? Your all-in-one nutritional insurance, if you will. And by the way, I want to mention these folks have over 7,000 5-star reviews. Now think about the last time you went out of your way to even leave a review. Like, it's got to be the best service ever or the worst service ever. I don't leave reviews, but I got over 7,000 5-star ones. Tony and I are amongst them. And Tony, we got a special offer right now.
Yes, right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5, free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WHW. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/WHW to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Shout out to Athletic Greens. Try that AG1, and let's get back with the program here. I'm at 34:45 in 3, 2, 1, play. Those old bumper music's so fun. We got enough Tony Schiavone on this show.
We talked about the tremendous matches during Starrcade.
I'm holding the mic, dude.
Yes, for the 5th time in his career, the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Rick, congratulations.
Well, Tony, thank you very much. And it was a problem in the world. I don't see it right now. Atlanta, Georgia is carrying it live. Ric Flair, 5 times. 5. Look at him. 5 times. The Nature Boy walked the aisle. 5 times. The Nature Boy walked away with what we know is the greatest trophy. Woo! In professional sports. Tony Schiavone, Ric Flair, 5 times. The man.
And we're going to take a look at the man, Ric Flair, Ron Garvin from Starrcade. Let's take a look at how it happened.
So it's a recap show for all of Starrcade here. I like it. We're sort of
Yeah.
resetting, showing you who the new champs are. Dusty's got that U.S. strap. Rick's got the world title again. Of course, he got it back from Ronnie Garvin after what was supposed to be, I believe. I mean, I just can't imagine this was the long-term plan. We're trying something. We want to have a chase. We think this is the right way to pay it off. I think the old school term is a transitional champion.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly why they had given the belt to Ronnie.
Right?
I just know that it didn't last long, obviously. Maybe it's because they looked and they thought, Rick needs to win the belt again or needs to chase the belt and who's it going to be? And of course, Dusty had been the champion many, many times. So they went with Ronnie Garvin. I for some reason, I also remember, and I may be completely wrong with this, but I'm just going to tell you what is in the back of my mind about this. For some reason, I remember that, and you may know the story, that Dusty wanted to win it again.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people against it, so he didn't.
That's what I've heard.
Okay. So that thought of mine is right.
I mean, the idea being, you got to remember, they did the gathering, they did the $1 Million Challenge. How many Flair Dusty Starrcades were there going to be as a main event?
Right.
But
Right, exactly.
I'll tell you though, I mean, you take a look. Dusty got the cage treatment, just like Flair did.
Yeah.
Dusty got his got some gold around his waist on this show, just like Flair did.
Yeah.
We're knee deep in the Horsemen Flair. Hey, they're winning too much. They're taking too much of an advantage. We need to go with us. I mean, that's just politics, but they were prevalent here.
Yeah. No, that's true. And then again, if you think about this, okay, if maybe if you're thinking that, well, we don't want to see Flair Dusty again, well, it did big business, didn't it? Every time. So what the hell?
Speaking of what the hell,
Zoom that camera in and out, you goof.
we talk a lot on this show about my great close personal friend Clint from Hershey, who you've met.
Yeah, right. I met Clint from Hershey.
I was having a conversation with another friend of ours in the wrestling business, and Clint happened to be in the room this week, and the conversation of IBS came up. Are you in the loop on this?
That is irritable bowel. I got a shit syndrome.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
And this person in the wrestling industry has IBS.
Lord have mercy.
And he made a big deal about the fact that he shits 4 or 5 times a day.
Well, Lord.
And he asked me, how often do you shit?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm a twice a day shitter. I shit in the morning and I shit after work. I'm a twice a day shitter. How about you, Tony? What are we looking at on poo-poo output for you?
Probably every other day.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, so that brought up the subject of my friend Clint from Hershey, because Clint from Hershey tells me that he shits so often his asshole's raw. And I say, well, I think you might be doing a little more than that if it's raw. And he goes, no, I shit 4 or 5 times every day. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wait a minute, that can't be real. And he goes, no, I promise I shit 4 times every day. And I was like, well, Clint from Hershey, you've told me before that you whack off 5 times a day. He goes, I jack off 5 times and shit 4 every day. And I said to myself, who's got time for all that shitting and jacking? It feels like a lot of shit jacking, does it not?
Yeah. Yeah, he must. Yeah, he
needs a job. He needs hobbies.
You need to hang out with somebody else.
Just cut him out of my life.
Yeah,
completely.
Right.
Well, here's the thing: he's not full of shit because he's dropping it off the kids at the pool 4 times a day.
Well, then, but if he's a real friend of yours, he'd have been at the restaurant, and prevented you from getting into a fight.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily got in a fight. I mean, he didn't land any blows, and I landed one.
Well, there's your finish.
Yeah, and then we're going to hear from the nature boy. Look, the one piece of trash sailed in.
Right.
That piece of trash that just came in, have it on good authority, was from the Monster Factory. Danny Cage, at least once a month, reminds me that Ronnie Garvin is the greatest NWA world champion of all time. And I just laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah. Old Danny. Hey, I saw Ric Flair last weekend at the big event in Queens, and he was signing autographs. I was over there signing autographs. And
look at him. That's probably the face he made when he saw you.
All I can say is, whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it, because it is the best thing going today. Now, I'm not going to blow Ronnie Garvin's horn. He wouldn't have been in the ring with me if he was the great. He was the world champion that says it all. But Ric Flair has been a world champion 5 times. And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it, because you'll have no choice. The 4 Horsemen, think about it, Chicago, Flair destroys Ronnie Garvin. Arn and Tully destroy the Road Warriors, remain the world champions. Lex Luger suffers a minor setback. Nothing that Luger can't take care of tomorrow. The four horsemen will ride and reign supreme. We are, and listen very closely, we are the franchise. We are the best. We compete at a level unknown to mortal man. We run all night. We run all day. 24 hours. We live. We eat. We think. Wrestling. We're the best there is. And I'm telling you, yes, I'm excited. Chi-Town Eat with the Four Horsemen night. Luger, no problem, pal. You got Ric Flair, the captain of the team, behind you. So, Dusty Rhodes, I don't blame you for thinking about throwing in the white towel. No one would want Luger a second time around. Ooh. Learn to love it. Diamonds are forever, and so are the Four Horsemen. Woo.
And the world champion again, Ric Flair. We're coming.
Boy, that was a lot of long-term Flairisms dropped in a single promo right there, was it not?
It was. So we were at the big event, which is a yearly thing in November in Queens.
Yeah.
And Rick was, that man called Sting. Shing, ding, ding. So there was Flair was over with a group that sponsors him. And Bianca Belair was over there. And they were kind of cordoned off from everybody. And there were a lot of people in there. And I walked over and I saw Flair. And we talked for a little bit. As I walked away, he went, Schiavone. And everybody goes, Schiavone. And he went, Schiavone. And they went, Schiavone. I said, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. But I thought it was funny how he had the fans going with my last name.
You know, the Man Called Sting lyrics might be some of the worst lyrics in the history of wrestling. Do you know those?
Yeah, catchy tune, though, you know?
He does this. He does that.
Mm-hmm.
He big as bull. He quick as cat.
Mm-hmm.
He looks fine. He looks cool. He's own man, and he's nobody's fool.
Yeah.
Don't double cross him or get in his way, because if you do, you're going to have to pay.
How about that?
He's not like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If his friends ever need him, he's there to help.
There you go.
And all the kids, they go wild. And all the old people start to act like a child.
How about that?
Don't double cross him or get in his way, because if you do, you're going to have to pay. All over the world, he's such a smash. You know it's over when he does the Stinger splash.
Yeah, baby.
He loves his honey. He loves the Rock. But no one important
Suck
loves
my
the
cock.
Scorpion.
Now,
Now,
I'm sorry, what were you saying? Go ahead. They say loves the Rock?
yeah, that was the Ultimate Warrior's nickname back in Watts era. No one important loves the Scorpion Deathlock. Don't you dare cross him or get in his way, because if you do, you're going to have to pay. Everyone wonders what he's going to do. I mean, it's a little silly, isn't it?
Will knock the front teeth out of you. He did some crazy shit recently again.
Jumping off shit. That's what he does.
Yeah, God. And poor old Jay Lethal, who's going to have to bump for Ricky Steamboat here
this weekend.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, think about that. July 31st, Ric Flair. November 19th, Sting. November 27th, Ricky Steamboat. November 28th, Jay Lethal can retire happy.
Yeah, he can. Jay Lethal's a happy guy anyway.
He's the coolest, most well-adjusted human being I've met in wrestling.
One of my favorites of all time. I mean,
and by the way, there was no doubt in my mind when I saw he was teaming with Jeff Jarrett, who was taking the pin in that one. I'm sure Jeff said, now, Jay, I took the last one. So, you know.
I've had a lot of fun with Jarrett backstage because, I'm running around and it does get stressful.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm running around trying to organize things and he's just looking at me and laughing. I said, aren't you glad you ain't doing this shit anymore? He said, damn right. Oh,
What do you think the normal number of times to shit a day is?
I think the normal number of times to shit a day would be 1.
So you think even my 2 might be too many?
Yeah, it is. That's telling me you got too much going in because you got to take it out. Wait,
Well-
a Scorpio. There, dan, 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 dan.
Oh,
Man called Sting. Gonna
by the way,
have to pay.
he's got no scorpion on his pants or his boots. It's just green tights. He's got the rat tail.
Yeah.
Maybe the most simplistic face paint ever, just one color. Obviously it's gonna evolve, but there's that singer splash.
Yeah, baby. Is he gonna talk to me here? He wasn't.
No, they're going to commercial.
Okay, wasn't necessarily the greatest talker back then, but that was
Oh,
okay.
here he is. Here we go. Yeah,
There
let's
we go.
take a listen.
Second hour of World Championship Wrestling. This man Sting, not only after, I'm sure, a lot of money in the Bunkhouse Stampede, but there's Nature Boy Ric Flair, the world champion.
Nature Boy, let me tell you something. I've been through about 5 different partners. I've been through thick and thin in this business. I've seen them come and go. I guess it's what you call separating the men from the boys. I'm a man because I'm still standing here, and I'm glad to be here in the NWA with the best athletes. Flair, you're one of them. I could come out here and shoot my mouth and tell you that I'm going to kick your little butt all over the place, but I'm not going to do that because I got respect for you. You are a great wrestler. I don't have anything against you until we get into the ring. Then I kind of go nuts, you know what I mean? So, Flair, I just can't help it. I got to do that every night. It's a good tension release, you know what I mean? Flair, you got your figure 4. I got the scorpion for you, buddy. And I plan on tying it up with you.
Also, the Bunkhouse Stampedes.
What about that?
The Bunkhouse Stampede.
It's right up my alley. Fits me like a glove. Talk about a good tension release. It's made for me. Oh, yeah.
Sting with a win here today on our program. Okay, let's bring in Mr. Jim Crockett.
Hey now, a rare appearance from Jim Crockett.
Yeah. Guess we're gonna talk about Bunkhouse Stampedes.
Can't believe he's gone, man. What a great time we had with him. Let's take a listen. Rare appearance from him here on the program.
Well, to say that Dusty's statements caught me off guard Thursday night is an understatement.
Right.
I almost fell out of my chair. Dusty Rhodes has been one of, if not the dominant force in wrestling for the last 16 years.
Absolutely.
He's one of those few individuals, when they came into the sport, they were on top and have stayed there the whole time. He is the U.S. heavyweight champion now. He is the defending Bunkhouse Stampede champion for the past 2 years.
Right.
I rode to the airport Thursday night with Dusty, and we had several long talks. We met again Friday morning.
Okay.
Friday afternoon, Dusty went to the kickoff press conference for the Bunkhouse Stampede, and which starts in Monroe, Louisiana. Dusty will defend his title in the Bunkhouse Stampede. At this point, that's all I can say.
Okay, well, that's good news. We're glad to hear that, and thank you very much. Dusty Rhodes will defend his title during the Bunkhouse Stampede, fans. Okay, let's go back to the ring.
And we see the Midnight Express coming out here. They're going to be taking on Thunderfoot 1 and 2. Of course, we had Gladiator 1 and 2 against the Midnights or against the Rock and Rolls earlier. Well, at any point, did you think, hey, man, if fans are worried that Dusty might be retiring, they might not watch as often? Or was it the opposite thinking? Hey, if they think this might be it, we need to get them out to the arenas, see him maybe one last time, right?
Yeah. I think that was it.
Yeah. So anyway, what we were talking about earlier, shit. It turns out the quick Google search says that it's normal to shit up to 3 times a day or as few as 3 days a week. So I think both of us are normal, and you're being a fucking hater.
Why? Because you shit twice a day?
Yeah.
Well, it's just the less you take in, the less you shit.
I don't think that's always necessary. I mean, I understand what you're saying is logical, but I know people who shit once a week. Are you suggesting that that person doesn't eat food?
No. I talked to my doctor about something like this one time. No, actually, I didn't talk to my doctor. I talked to a nutritionist. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
And I was talking about why in the hell are we talking about this stuff anyway?
All right. You know what? We'll talk about the Thunderfoot match. Go ahead.
No, okay. No, let's go ahead. Okay. So, just all of us. So anyway, just reason hit me right in the face. So I was talking because how many times do you tinkle a day? How many times do you go pee?
That's a good question. I've never counted. I'll start counting and I'll have a report for you next week.
Well, let me tell you this. Okay.
Okay.
I can go to an AEW event and I get there between noon and 1. Okay.
Right.
I have a monster, 16-ounce monster. First thing I do, go eat, have a bottle of water. Middle of the day or let's say around, I don't know, 6 o'clock, another monster. That's 2 of them. We start the show. I have a bottle of water, have another monster. Okay. I don't pee until I get back to the hotel.
Oh,
I've got
wow.
3 16-ounce monsters in me and 2 bottles of water, sometimes 3. And I don't pee. And I was talking to a nutrition about this. And I said, should I worry that it's like I don't have to pee and all of a sudden it hits me. I got to go. And he said, no. He said, people who don't pee a lot means that their body's absorbing more of the nutritions and more of the substances that you take in. People who have to urinate a lot, their body's not getting all the substances they should. So interesting, I thought.
Well, I drink like, those big liter bottles of water.
Yeah.
I drink like 5 of those a day.
Okay. So then you're going to urinate a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you do. I don't drink enough water. And
I chug 5 of those a day. And then, if you and I were to go to lunch, I would say, give me a Diet Coke and a water. And I'm going to have the Diet Coke, but I'm probably going to refill that water a few times. Like I chug water. Yeah. Got that going for me.
Just to clarify things, after hearing you talk last couple of weeks, I would not go to lunch with you because I'm afraid, number 1, we get in a fight.
Right.
Or number 2, somebody's going to want to measure
your asshole hair.
So I just won't do that again with you.
Well, now here's the thing. That only happens at one place.
Yeah. Well, what does that tell you?
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I said to myself, I don't know that I should go back there anymore.
No. And it looks like the owner is kind of the culprit in all this.
Well, yeah. I mean, now the butthole hair, you can pin on me and my friends. I get that. I'll take your butthole pin. But when it comes to the fight, I mean, it's his best friend, and he just wanted to randomly fight me. Like, Tony, come on now.
Okay.
I'm not going to fight people. That's not my thing. I'm not lining up to fight folks. It seems dumb.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will again. But that being said,
well, little badass.
No, I'm just saying, I'm 41. It's never happened. Yeah. I never have I ever been minding my own business, and somebody comes over and says, "Hey, you want to fight?"
Yeah, and then I don't think they'll do that again.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying, what are the odds of that realistically happening? It's only happened once ever.
Well, there you go.
It was silly.
Now here's Cornette again.
Can't wait to see his picture today, though.
See a lot of that stuff in the ring. You're not going to see intricate maneuvers like that because there's going to be 20, 25, maybe even 30 people in there at the same time, and there ain't going to be room for stuff like that. There's going to be fingers sticking in ears. There's going to be hands around throats. There's going to be thumbs and eyeballs, and there's going to be every other kind of thing that you can imagine, from chairs, chains, rocks, bottles, bricks, sticks, pots, pans, and tin cans, everything going on in the Bunkhouse Stampede. And the bottom line is, it's going to get somebody a whole lot of money. $25,000, $30,000, $50,000 ain't no telling how much is going to be put up, but it's going to make some people rich. Big Bubba Rogers, the baddest man in the world, 6'8", 350. The Midnight Express U.S. Tag Team Champions. Hey, they grew up in a tough neighborhood too, brother. Matter of fact, when they were little, in their neighborhood, the motors didn't shoot you. They inserted the bullets manually. In the autumn, the leaves didn't fall off the trees. They committed suicide, and we're going to be ready. He's going to be ready, and we are going to have a lot of money.
Okay, and we're coming right back, fans. Don't you dare go away.
And Tony, I got a time on me right now, 56, 48, 49, 50. I'm going to do it at 52. There it is. Spent a lot of time talking about shit today, Tony. Let me ask you, are you looking to shit the bed when it comes to gift giving this year? Probably not. Let me recommend something you can do that's the opposite of that. I'm talking Miracle Brand. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat?
Yikes.
Right. Bed sheets have more bacteria than toilet seats. Who knew? It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses, and daddy, it's just gross. Well, Miracle Brand offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding like sheets, pillowcases, comforters. And they prevent 99% of bacteria. They require 3 times less laundry. And by the way, these silver-infused fabrics were originally developed by NASA. Miracle Brand sheets are thermoregulating. They're designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, and to get you better sleep. And because they're infused with natural silver that prevents 99.9% of bacterial growth, it's going to leave them to stay cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of luxury brands. Miracle sheets are the perfect gift for your spouse, your friends, or your family. Who doesn't want better sleep and luxurious feeling bed sheets? And since these come with 3 free towels, it's like 2 gifts in one, just in time for the holidays. Also better for your skin. So stop sleeping on bacteria.
Yeah.
Clean sheets means less bacteria to clog your pores and fewer breakouts and other skin problems. And Tony, right now we got a special offer for our listeners.
Go to trymiracle.com/WHW. That is trymiracle.com/WHW to try today or gift it to someone special this holiday season. And we got a special deal for our listeners. Save over 40% and be sure to use the promo code WHW at checkout to save even more and get 3 free towels. And Miracle's so confident in their product, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Brand. Go to trymiracle.com/WHW. Again, use the code WHW to claim your free 3-piece towel set. Save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/WHW to treat yourself, a friend, or a loved one this holiday season. Thank you, Miracle Brand, for sponsoring this episode of What Happened When.
Can you believe it? It's finally here. It's the most wonderful time of the year, unless you get stressed out about how to pay for it. SaveWithConrad.com can help you make this the best Christmas ever. You won't make a house payment for the next 2 months. That's right. Skip your next 2 house payments and use all that cash for your extra holiday expenses. And come next year, you're going to have a lower monthly payment. Don't put Christmas on a credit card. Pay your credit card debt off at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com. And with that, let's get back to the program here in 3, 2, 1, play.
Fans, we're back. The symbol of the 4 Horsemen, James J. Dillon, along with the man, the total package, Lex Luger.
What do you think Lex is saying here, Tony?
Okay. Well, you know, Tony Schiavone, a couple of things. As you saw, Dusty Rhodes, juice. As you saw, I didn't do much juice. Never liked to juice. Never liked to cut myself. Didn't like the idea of a razor blade. Didn't like the idea of maybe staph infection. Didn't like the idea actually of really selling. Only thing I really liked to do was kind of like point my finger at you, adjust my glasses, back and forth again. Watch when I point. We've talked about this so many times, probably more than 5 times talk about it. When I point, for some reason, the thumb sticks up in the air. Here, I'm getting ready to show it to you one more time. I'm going to point to myself with that thumb. That thumb's going to be stuck because when I point at the camera, my thumb, let me take off my glasses to make sure that you see that I have no blade marks on this head. Not like Dusty Rhodes, but there you go. There's my thumb up in the air. My thumb, my clasp, a goddamn thumb, Lex. Holy shit. I'm not drawing lines yet. I haven't got that far, but as you can tell, no blade marks. Dusty, you can blade all you want. I'm not going to blade, and I'm going to make big money. That's right. I'm the narcissist Lex Luger. Well, that gimmick hasn't come around yet. But once again, the thumb is in the air when I point. I am the total package, which means no blade jobs, no blood capsules. Well, there really wasn't blood capsules back then anyway, there wasn't. But no, I am the total package. One thing I do, as Arn Anderson could say, I had more teeth in my head than Mr. Ed. I don't know why I thought about that. Arn used to call him Mr. Ed.
Didn't he hold up a toilet brush and say, "I found your toothbrush"?
I don't know. You may have. He said, Arn says, I'm sure your dentist and your parents are very proud of you, or something like that. Oh, man, he's pretty intense here. I just don't get it. Why?
He's not even blinking.
I know. I just don't get why. You know, when he was a horseman, I may be wrong.
But
Please close that freaking thumb up, Lex.
God, why does that bother you?
It just
so?
fucking bothers me. You point like this with your thumb, with your fist. You take a fist and then you.
What if he's doing finger guns?
Anyway, somebody told it. Look, he can't help looking at himself on the monitor there.
You think he did finger guns when the police came around? He go.
He had to. Somebody really told him to get jacked, or he's jacked, but I mean, really told him to get intense on these promos. He was.
So here comes Dr. Death, man, taking on Tommy Angel. Of course, Dr. Death is the UWF champ.
Yeah, and this is days after. Head to the dick, isn't it?
Man, that feels like forever ago since we did that. It was 5 years ago. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and it was at this Starrcade where he tried to leapfrog Barry Windham, and of course it's now part of pro wrestling history. Anyway, I was going to say that this all reminds me of the fact that, and of course, you know, I went out and partied with the Horsemen many times.
Yeah.
And even the Luger incarnation of the Horsemen. And if I'm correct, Lex was with the Horsemen, but kind of not with the Horsemen. You know?
You mean partying?
Yeah.
That's correct.
He partied a little bit, but not the Flair Tully Arn type.
No, he wanted to drink milk and eat shrimps.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that now.
He wouldn't have been at the bar pulling out his asshole hair.
No. And then there's another story that involves Lex Luger and involves me that I will never tell here on the air, but I may tell you off the air one day.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that one.
Okay.
Speaking of stories that we don't talk about often here on the program.
Yeah.
I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, a friend of ours. And I don't know that you would count him as a friend because he nearly let you die in the basement.
Oh, that's that fucking.
No, don't say his name. Don't say his name. And we're having this discussion about.
Was he awake for half of the discussion or asleep?
He was.
Okay.
About Elon Musk.
Okay.
And about how I believe Elon Musk is autistic. And I argued, and I've said for years that I think autism can be a superpower because, you know, your brain works differently and you can really focus on something and you're not bogged down in a lot of the nonsense of, you know, just doesn't get in the way and you can really focus and just be phenomenal. And I've got a lot of friends and people in my lives who have been great examples of that. And he casually mentions, yeah, it would be like being Larry David on the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, where when he goes over to somebody's house and they say, hey, do you want a tour? And he goes, nah. Where, you know, when they ask, do you want the tour? They want you to say yes. And
Right.
he's just not bothered by it. Just nah.
Yeah.
And I said, well, shit, dude, if that's the barometer, I might be there because I don't want to take a house tour ever. I've never asked to take one or wanted to go on one. And I said that, in fact, there's only one tour that I've ever actually been on, which was the WWE tour when I did a tour of the Titan Towers.
Ah.
And I remember as I went like room to room during this tour, because I won some charity auction or something. And this is 2013. And I remember asking the tour guide, so what divas did Vince fucking hear? I was just way ahead of time. You know, I was way ahead of my time.
Yeah,
They didn't think that was funny at all. But I mean, every room I'd be like, so what divas did he get in here?
Oh, man.
And then of course the subject became in our group chat with this person. Well, where do you think him and Warrior hooked up? Because those rumors have been around. And I was like, well, obviously the gym. Like 100% that would have happened in the gym. And then my friend said, can you imagine the sounds? And that really got me excited because it'd be 1, 2, you got me. No, you didn't. Oh, goddamn, pal. I mean, can you imagine? Like if Warrior sneezed and Vince just stomps out.
Oh.
What do you think it would sound like if Warrior and Vince were to hook up in the WWE gym?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going there.
Come on, dude.
I'm not going there. You're out of your freaking mind.
How am I out of my mind?
You're out of your mind. You really are.
Are you telling me you don't think Vince ever laid the pipe down in Titan Towers?
I don't know. I don't know.
These big, powerful guys who are billionaires, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that nothing ever happened at the office? You don't think Linda ever came through? He was working late.
I don't know. I don't know. You just don't know what happens.
Wow,
you can't assume anything at all. Okay?
I'm not assuming. I'm asking.
Okay, where is this coming from?
You're right. It'd be more entertaining if we just did this.
Greatest professional wrestling in the world. Do you understand? The world. I've been all over the world internationally, and I've done what I've done with this belt. Now I'm the fossil. I'm the fossil of UWF. I've gone through thick and thin. You talk about the greatest athletes. You talk about this and that and the other thing.
Well, no, I'd rather talk about Warrior fucking Vince in the gym.
You sure not this and that and the other thing? You sure you don't want to talk about that? Poor Dr. Dale.
No.
Oh, man.
So we're going to commercial here. I'm going to hit it at 58, 105, 56, 57, 58. There it is. And, of course, it's time to talk about Tony's hog meat.
Donka.
I don't know that Vince needed any BlueChew, but
God.
What?
Where is this coming? Go ahead.
Goddamn, pal.
Okay.
So hard, even a cat couldn't scratch it. My dick never sneezes. There is no sick. That's right. This episode is sponsored by BlueChew. Guys, we all know confidence can take you far in life. That's especially true in the bedroom. You know, when it's time to step up to the plate, where BlueChew comes in, it's like a hot tag for your wiener meat. BlueChew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime, day or night. So you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. And the process, it's simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And here's the best part. It's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office. No awkward conversation. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. And BlueChew's tablets are made in the USA. They're prepared to ship directly to your door, all in a discreet package. It's like Destrucity for your dog meat. And Tony, we got a special offer for our listeners. Tell them about it. If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, do it and do it. Have been a sex warriors.
And pal, we got a special deal for our listeners to try BlueChew for free when you use promo code WHW checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code WHW to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BlueChew for sponsoring our podcast as we come to you from the BlueChew Studios.
And now, let's get back to the program. I'm at 105.58 and 3, 2, 1. Where is David Crockett? Why do we just got to get you over and over and over? Damn it.
Oh, look at Ronnie. He's proud of being, and he's got is that a rebel flag on his head?
That jacket looks like he's on tour with New Kids on the Block. Let's take a listen.
I could tell you I had a bad ankle, bad ribs, I had a fever, I had the flu. But I'm not going to use no excuse because I was perfectly healthy. I felt very good. What it was a world's heavyweight title match, and it was fought as a world title match. Ric Flair fought
By the way, Ronnie Garvin, Canadian, says American by birth, Southern by the grace of God.
That's right.
He's got an American flag and a rebel flag on, but the motherfucker is Canadian.
Right.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Listen to this accent, and let's guess which part of Kentucky he's from.
Okay.
in the world. And for that simple reason, I want it back. And I want it back more than ever, you see. When a football team loses at the Super Bowl, one thing they can do is they fire the coach, get new players, trade players. But in my case,
That sounds like Montreal, Kentucky to me.
Yeah, it does, which is like northwestern Kentucky up near West Virginia.
Yeah, in the Sean Ross Sapp quadrant.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You not a Sean Ross Sapp fan?
Thank you for fucking up this podcast by saying his name. But go ahead. Next.
Oh, I didn't know y'all had heat.
I want to have heat.
You more of a Nick Houseman guy?
I just don't like stooges, but thank you very much. Let's go back to Ronnie Garvin.
this inspiration, the greatest thrill of my life was to be the world's champion for 2 months. But I'm coming back. That's right. I'm very proud because it was the best, the toughest, and the hardest match of my life.
Ronnie, I don't mean to come out here and interrupt your interview, and I'd like to say this in front of the millions of people watching. I've been involved in a lot of big wrestling matches in my career. I've seen a lot of things happen in professional wrestling and all professional sports. And it seems that when the big thing comes up and it has all the hype, that usually, whether it be the Super Bowl, the seventh game of the World Series, the seventh game of the NBA Finals, the event does not live up to the hype. Brother, in my estimation, Starrcade 87 lived up to it and more, and the match that you and Ric Flair had was history. I've never had that kind of feeling come over my body when I watched an event, a sporting event that I wasn't even participating in. And I don't care what anybody says. I haven't known you that well. I have known Jimmy and Precious for a long time. In my eyes, you're still the champion, and to use an old cliche, it's bad when somebody has to lose in an event and a contest like that. To me, you're still the champion, and thank you for a moment of history. But I want to thank you for something else, because you pointed out to not only me, Jimmy, and everybody in wrestling, Ric Flair is human. Ric Flair has vulnerabilities, and he has weaknesses. And Flair, I was there the night he beat you in Detroit, and I was there in Chicago, and PS has got them weaknesses and them vulnerabilities. So I know that you're after it again, Ronnie, but I am too, and I know you are.
Well, you know, Michael, I just got a few things to say here to my brother Ronnie, and that is you went down in the history books, and what you did was not in vain. You proved to a lot of people, including Michael Hayes and myself, that not only yourself and me and Michael, the champ can be beat. Ric Flair can be beaten, and also the thousands and thousands of people out there. Because I watched my brother train. I watched him start from the bottom and work his way up. Nothing is impossible. And there's a lot of young people out there that might have a lot of dreams, and they might seem like they're far, far away. But like my brother did, he started from the bottom and he worked his way up, and he became the greatest wrestling champion in the world. And as far as I'm concerned, Ronnie, you're still the champion in my heart, pal.
It's your turn next, so Ric Flair, watch out, because I've got a brother. The Garvins will be heard again. We'll be put back on the map. We'll be put back at the top. And there's another man standing right there. So Ric Flair, good luck, pal.
Ronnie Garvin, Michael PSA, Jimmy Garvin, and Precious. What a moment, fans, and what a great champion Ronnie Garvin. Let's go to the ring.
Ron Simmons is going to be wrestling Rick Steiner here. Years later, this would be a big time match. And you want to talk about two big jacked up motherfuckers with big futures in front of them.
Yeah.
Ron Simmons looks bigger than ever right here.
Yeah. Not only that, two really, as a shoot, badass motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to mess with either one of these guys. These guys are unfuckwithable.
Yep. That's absolutely. So very cool. I think that interview, if memory serves me, this is the beginning of an angle where Ronnie keeps getting interrupted by Michael Hayes. And that leads
isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you hate to be interrupted by Michael Hayes all the time?
Yeah, sure would.
I talked to him this past week. He's doing well.
Didn't really care, but good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's my bad. I'll shut my dumb more mouth.
No, don't shut your mouth. Hey, I sent you a picture this week we're going to need to talk about.
Okay.
We worked Bridgeport, Connecticut on Wednesday.
Oh, I didn't know we were allowed to talk about this.
Yeah. I think I should mention it because I think it's kind of funny.
Well, it is funny, but I was like, you know, you're so scared of your own shadow these days. So I don't want to piss anybody off. Oh,
no, I'm not pissing anybody off. It's kind of a random thing. We worked Bridgeport, Connecticut, and we happened to spend the night in Stamford.
Yes.
and we stayed at the Stanford Marriott. And I got to my room, I don't know, probably about 6 in the evening, or it was dark, 7 maybe. And I opened up my drapes to look outside. I always do that. A couple of things you should know about me when I travel. You don't need to know, but I'll tell you about when I travel. Number one, I never turn on the TV, ever. And number two, first thing I do, I always open the drapes and look and check the scenery.
Yep.
And when I opened the drapes, I was hit in the face by 2 big WWE signs.
Giant lit logos.
Giant lit logos. And I went, what the fuck am I doing here? I just thought it was interesting. Of all the sides of the building I could be on, here I am. And I sent you the picture. I said, open my drapes and I saw this. Wow.
And I suggested.
Yep.
What did I suggest?
You suggest me go and talk to Bruce, maybe have dinner with him?
Yep.
And I said no.
You said, tell him to fuck off.
I did not. I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
And so then I sent that, I took your picture and I forwarded it to Bruce, and he replied in all caps, motherfucker, are you up here and didn't tell me you were coming? And I said, nope, that's Tony Schiavone's. And he goes, what is he doing up here? I said, they're running a show. And he goes, where? And I said, clearly near you. I don't know. And he goes, well, maybe I'll stop by the show. And I go, do you want me to get you a pass? And he goes, no, fuck off. And so there we go.
Listen, don't work me. He knew where we're running. They know where we are as much as we know where they are every time. So
wait, I'm sure the company does.
Yeah.
You think the guy who's writing creative gives a fuck where AEW was on Wednesday?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So since you know everything, where's WWE this coming Friday?
I don't know.
What the fuck? You don't hit me with that bullshit.
Well, I don't write creative.
You're so far. No, you work with talent. So you know where they got to be routed and where they go. And if Tony Schiavone stopped short, you know what he had for breakfast. So I don't want to fucking hear that you don't fucking know where they are on Friday.
Look at Kevin Sullivan coming out all red.
He's got a number on the socks.
Yeah. Red for the Red Sox.
Hey, let me ask you about something else. As we're watching a pretty fun match here, but the very young Rick Steiner and very young Ron Simmons. Can we talk about showering for a minute? We've talked about poo-pooing. I feel like we should talk about showering.
Okay, go ahead.
Saw something online this week, really captivated my attention, and I thought, man, I said to myself, I got to bring this up to Tony, as I do.
Okay.
So what I want to suggest is you try something new in the shower next time you take a shower. And I know when we first met, you showered once a week, but I think we've changed that routine up. You shower on a more frequent basis now. Fair to say?
Yes, I do.
So when you get in the shower, is it, would I be fair in guessing you might take a shower today?
Yes, I'll take a shower today.
I don't know. If you're watching on video, you see that Tony has adopted Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling bug eyes.
Yeah, sir.
I want you to take a shower, and I want you to take your thumbs.
Oh my God!
And your middle fingers, and pull your scrotum out away from your body. So on the left, you use your left hand, pull the left side of your scrotum out, and your right hand, pull the right side of your scrotum out.
Yeah.
And then I want you to pull it up, and I want you to take your pointer fingers, and I want you to tuck it down and create like a little bowl.
Okay.
And I want you to collect water from the shower in your new ball bag bowl. And you can use that to, create like a little bird bath.
Okay. You know there's something wrong with you, don't you?
Because you could not just do this with water. You could do this with Kool-Aid, or you're from the South, sweet tea.
You have a problem.
Tony, you need to try this by the end of the year, because in 2023, we're bird bathing these bitches. I think it would be awesome if you went to Thanksgiving and you went over to Lois's side and you had something you knew she would like some peach. Oh, look at this. It's a spam replay. Are you kidding?
Their grocery products.
This is a spam replay. And I think we need a spam replay of you approaching Lois at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
With some Jim Beam or maybe some peach moonshine in your ball bag bird bath. Man, she could just we're bird bathing these bitches in 2023, Tony. Come on, join me.
You need
You
some
can put any liquid in there, Tony. Are you even listening to me?
you need some professional help. You know that, don't you?
You could bird bath them, Tony.
Professional help.
Well, I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
I'll report back next week. Let you know how it goes.
Mm.
I'm
Love
disappointed that you didn't.
Yeah, I love
You
how
didn't even bite on that idea.
no, I love how Arnatole just being aggressive out of the get go. Rocky King looking to make a tag.
By the way, Arn Anderson is beating up Brock Anderson's second cousin. Look at this kid in the face.
I was thinking the same thing as it came in. Man, that kid looks like Brock in the face.
He's got to be Brock's cousin. That's Arn's nephew.
Yeah, it's got to be.
By the way, Brock Anderson from a side profile. Shout out to Gene Jackson.
Yeah.
Local Southern wrestling personality.
Mm-hmm.
He posted a picture of Arn Anderson holding up a microphone and Brock standing next to him, and you got like a side profile of Brock, and the way Brock is rocking that pencil beard,
yeah,
it looks very Tony Schiavone-ish.
Yeah. Who posted that again?
Gene Jackson.
Yeah, fuck yourself, Gene.
You don't like Gene?
No, just leave my name out of your humor.
No. He didn't. I don't know that he said anything. I said it looked like you were ill. It looked like you and it looks like you and Arn went half on a baby. It could have happened.
No, it couldn't have.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think you'd have made a wonderful wife. You're gonna make somebody a good wife one day, don't you?
Oh God.
Will you just ask Lois about the bird bath? See what she says.
No, I won't.
If you brought her a Jim Beam, she wouldn't drink it. You should just ask her that. If I brought you a Jim Beam, would you drink it?
Nope. You know, I realize what's going on with you sometimes.
Be careful with the Kool-Aid. It might stay in your sack.
No,
and then
you really want me as just a fucking dumb fuck. Oh, yeah, do it. You really want me to just really get in trouble here at the house. Because, you know, she thinks you guys are just nothing but juvenile bullshit humor anyway, which she's right.
We are.
Yeah, and then if I go to her and say that, she gonna get so pissed off, and I'm gonna come back and say, "Oh, Conrad, it didn't work."
Well,
but what did work is for her to get pissed off at me the rest of the day. So I see what's going on here now.
yeah, Lois and I are working together.
Yeah, I get you.
Another Four Horsemen promo, this time with Arn and Tully. Let's listen.
All right.
Thanksgiving night, we said one team was going to walk out with the gold and one team was going to walk out like that. And you know who can't show up on Saturday? The Road Warriors. They must be in the gym working on that bench press some more. Because I tell you what, Road Warriors, you ain't got what it takes, baby. We came to your hometown, Chicago, Illinois, Chi-Town East, and we walked out with all the glory. The Four Horsemen, just like we said it was going to be done. You put it in the bank. It was gospel. And now the Four Horsemen are going to go on to bigger and better things. The Nates did it. Luge did it. Arn did it. Tully did it. JJ did it. And baby, what a party. Woo! Chicago's never seen nothing like it. Tony Schiavone, under normal circumstances, I should be more beside myself than what I normally am. But see, what I've always told you is I'm a professor of this business. I'm a student. A while back, when I was walking around without one of these, I told you I was going to do whatever it took to get one. And I did. Now, suddenly, there seems to be another void. When we walk in and everybody hollers, "Champ!" Few of us turn our heads and say, yeah, what it is. A couple of us don't. But I'm telling you, there's people around here that want to make commercials. They want to do Brill Cream commercials. They want to do movies. They want to be a star. Well, stars are in the sky and stars are in Hollywood. The reason Horsemen are what they are is we get it done in that ring better than anybody else. That's what I remember first. That's what I hold true. The marquee says wrestling. And don't say, go make a commercial somewhere. Don't go to Hollywood. Well, gentlemen, the Four Horsemen are four synchronized gears, all working to perfection. one of those gears wants to fly off on its own, we pull it. Hey, Double A, what you're saying, buddy, above all else, is the Horsemen, Red Luke, JJ, High Five and Paul, the four Horsemen. And I reiterate, whether you like it or not, learn to love it, because we are, come on, Luke, the best thing going on. Yeah.
Man, we'll be right back. Don't share, go away.
Man, is it just me or was Arn pretty fired up right there?
Yeah, I was kind of weird, wasn't it?
He was talking about Dusty, was he not?
Well, the cutaway shot of Luger.
Yeah.
They stayed on that for quite a while. This is going to be an interesting interview.
What do you think? IRS is saying here.
I want to hear him. I want to hear him see what he says.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. Here we go.
Out there with other things on their mind besides wrestling. And what it boils down to is I've been through that before, going through Syracuse University. When you came up to a big match or a big football game, if you didn't have your mind on it, you were in trouble. And I'm out here, I'm going to say it one more time. I think I've watched Starrcade in depth that I could beat any wrestler in professional wrestling today, whether it be amateur rules or professional rules. I think I can hang with anybody and take some of those straps away from them with me.
Okay, Mike Rotunda, Florida heavyweight champion fans. We're ready for our big six-man tag team event.
Wow.
We got Mighty Wilbur, Barry Windham, and Ricky Santana taking on Ivan Koloff, Warlord, and Barbarian. It's a Pier 6 brawl here. Mighty Wilbur, there you go. You can see that's my uncle.
Yeah.
Somebody just approached him on a bar stool and said, "You want to fight?"
Yeah. And you slapped him in the nose.
Yeah.
So, or a palm shot him in the. Listen, I go back to that interview, okay? And they kept it almost to me. I was thinking a couple of things happened there. Either Dusty wanted to focus on Luger to make him a big star, which Dusty always did.
Yep.
And had the director, Tommy Edwards, sit on that camera shot. What bugged me about that shot was usually just a cutaway, boom, in your back. But he stayed on him. So as it's going on, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Arn is bleeding from the forehead, right?
Right.
And they don't want to show him. And then they cut back to Arn. He obviously wasn't. Or maybe, was Luger getting ready to leave the Horsemen? Was there an angle coming up there? Was Arn talking about Luger? Was he in that interview?
I felt like in real life, he was talking about Dusty.
Okay.
You don't think?
Yeah, I think you're right. But just I don't know, that weird cutaway shot that stayed on Luger just perplexed me. I don't know. Look at Paul Jones.
You're right. You know what? You're exactly right. You nailed it. He's kicked out of the Horsemen on December 12th.
Okay.
So 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think that's even on our schedule. I think we're going to be covering that here shortly.
Yeah. So Arn is kind of ripping on Luger, wanting to be more than just a wrestler, right? He wants to be.
Yeah. We're going to be covering it in 2 weeks, Daddy.
Oh, there you go. How about that?
And next week on this program, we're going to talk about Jim Ross's debut.
Whoa. How about that?
Yeah, that's a big moment.
That is a big moment. It's so, for some reason, I thought that JR had debuted in the studio shows earlier than that, but JR actually had done the War Games with me, and that was the first time he and I worked together at the Omni. So then he debuted on the show in December. Was he tripped up, or did he just fall on his ass? I think he tripped and fell on his ass.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God bless poor old Mighty Wilbur.
Oh, my gosh. Look at Paul Jones. Could the Warlord be any bigger, do you think?
My God. Those fucking arms. Those arms are tree trunks.
He's a cartoon character.
Yeah. And poor old Wilbur just drizzling shits here, buddy.
Oh, he just got nailed in the back of the head with that cane for real.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got a Pier 6 brawl.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul laid him in. Paul could lay him in, buddy. He could. Paul was really, really old school. I mean, old school like Gene Anderson old school. And And obviously wasn't the best talker in the world, but, Paul made some money. He made some money in Florida, made some money at Jim Crockett Promotions. He was used on top in his wrestling days. And I remember as a fan, I really didn't care for Paul a lot. I didn't like his promos, and he didn't do anything for me. But, I mean, he and Ricky Steamboat were World Tag Team Champions. He was Mid-Atlantic Champion, a U.S. Champion. So Paul was really got the push at Jim Crockett Promotions. And now we see him here at the end of his career, with that get-up look like bullshit. But
speaking of bullshit, what's on your agenda for the holidays? I know you're going to have a house full for Thanksgiving tomorrow, but Christmas, y'all got any big Christmas plans yet?
Well, we had thought about going up to New Jersey and stay with Matt and his wife and their little daughter.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they have a house now, about 35 minutes outside of New York. So I thought about doing that, but, because we have 3 dogs and we don't like to leave our dogs, we'll have to put them in the car and drive to New Jersey from here, which I don't mind. I love the drive, and Lois is a pretty good conversationalist when you drive, so I don't mind it. So that's what's your plans?
I think we're just gonna stay here at the house. We're gonna do it low key this year. I'm excited about that.
I know I've never been invited to your house for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Oh my God, you are a known liar.
What?
You've been invited so many times. So is JR. And here's the thing. I need your help with JR. JR is flying home from Chicago to Jacksonville on Thanksgiving.
Right.
They have non-stops from Chicago to Huntsville.
Yeah.
And my mom will make him his very own tray of cornbread dressing, and he can stay the weekend and hang out and enjoy a bunch of football. And that's a good time. And it beats going home and just hanging out by yourself and not having cornbread dressing.
Right.
But he's fucking stubborn, and he's invited every year, and he won't come. You got to help me.
Well, you know what? I can see it. If JR is anything like me, I can see where you just, as people, nice people like you and your family who open up your homes, who are so great hosts, are just wonderful people to go visit. But a person like me, even though you're so wonderful, still feels that you're imposing.
I don't think that.
I know you don't. I was just saying that, but I do. And that's why you don't see me that much. And that probably JR feels the same way. I don't want to impose. Even though on your end, you're not imposing. We want you here. So if JR is anything like me, it's going to be a tough sell. But if you want me to,
just mention it. Hey, Conrad really wants you to.
Okay.
Because I really do think, I just hate the idea of one of our friends just hanging out by themselves on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I agree. And JR shouldn't.
No.
He absolutely shouldn't.
He's got people that know, love, and care about him, and we're available, and we got extra seats at the table.
Yeah.
And my house has been that way forever, man. I've had the Silvas over for Thanksgiving. I've had stupid ass Matt Coon over for Thanksgiving.
You didn't have anybody over for Thanksgiving. You had him. Did he fall asleep at the table?
He did. Sat on my dog, ruined my life.
I'm sure.
I mean, this year, like, Morgan's bringing her roommate from college. Like, it's come on, man. Everybody's it's Thanksgiving. It's just an excuse to have a big meal and fellowship and watch football. And as you know, everybody makes too much food for Thanksgiving, so there's going to be leftovers.
Right.
And whatever JR drinks, I got in the bar downstairs.
Yeah, my God. Yep. You know what he drinks.
Yeah.
Moscow Mules. If you got ginger beer, lime, and vodka, you're in.
And he's got that he likes that special kind of Crown. I'm eat up with that.
Yeah.
Just eat up with it.
All right, I'll say something to him.
Man, this is coming down to the wire. There's only like 40 seconds left in the show.
I know.
They're still going, man.
This may be one of those where they're going to fight off the air.
They're hitting a commercial, and we're going to go to, no, that's it.
Yeah, they fought off the air. I remember us doing that now and then. It's like,
I'm going to rewind it so we can track your call and just hear it.
Stands up! Santana gets it there. Backdrop. Fans, we are at the end of our program. Don't forget, see you tomorrow night on our Sunday edition. I'm Tony Schiavone. Good night, everybody.
Well, if you had that one to do over again, you might, huh?
Yeah. We're desperately out of time. Tape machines are rolling. Don't wait for the motherfucker in. See you. Goodbye.
Well, let me just say this. We're not desperately out of time because it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, make this a season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little summer boy a favor. Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Avoid another silent night in the bedroom. And add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower product to have people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack. Show some you. Look nice when you get naughty. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code WHW for free shipping and 20% off. The new Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. Got everything you need to help you deck the halls from your face to your balls just in time for mistletoe season. That's right. The Platinum Package has each product from the best-selling Performance Package Plus. You got the Ultra Premium Body Wash, the Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner, the Ultra Premium Deodorant, everything you need to be smelling good from your Santa hat to your candy cane. That Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer is necessary. You got to get all those scrubs cleaned up. The Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer is going to take care of you, and so is that proprietary advanced skin-safe technology. It's going to take care of those delicate little holes. Got a 4000K LED light on this bastard. It's going to light you up like Rudolph. And now that you've groomed the candy cane, all that's left is to make sure you don't smell like a reindeer. That's what we're talking about, shower products. And guys, you got to do this if you're wanting to bird bath them bitches, okay? You got to get it trimmed up, then you got to make sure it smells good. That's why they're getting you the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner. This Platinum 4.0 sitting under the tree is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. They got a cool little stocking stuffer, too. That brand new body buffer, way better than your sorry ass old loofah. One more time, Tony, hit them with our special offer.
Before I do, Conrad, reminder of the Crop Mop, which is individually wrapped disposable wipes that you just open up and wipe yourself off, and you are fresh to go. I use them all the time. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WHW. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holidays.
Gosh, I love Manscaped, and I love doing this show with you, Tony. We talked about a lot of shit today on the show. We talked about that stupid-ass MJF and how he's a terrible human being.
Horrible.
We talked about how you low-key flew to Stanford to interview for a job with WWE. That's a
lie. That is a lie. I did not. I was in Stanford, and I opened up my window, and there were those logos looking at me and say, what the fuck you doing in our territory, fella? Get out of here.
I heard.
You're a redneck from the South, and here comes a lie out of your mouth.
I heard you just walked into Stanford city limits, and even though you didn't work there, they still fired you. They handed you a separation agreement as soon as you walked in. Tony, we told you were fired in 1989. It's time to leave.
Yeah, well, they brought Eric Bischoff in just to fire him. They might as well try to do that to me.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to keep the train rolling. We've had so much fun visiting old school Jim Crockett promotions. Next week, we're going to do it again. 1 week later, 1 week after this was December 5th, 1987. And that's where we would see the debut of Jim Ross. And we get the world heavyweight champion taking on Doot. We'll be back in 2 weeks doing it again. When we see Luger no longer being a horseman. We'll finish out the year with Starrcade 1996, right up the road in Nashville, Tennessee at the Municipal Auditorium. Hulk Hogan's going to lose to Roddy Piper with a sleeper, but that opening match, man, something else. What if I told you Jushin Thunder Liger and Ultimo Dragon and Rey Mysterio, they're all hanging around WCW here. They're going to create some magic.
Wow.
And then we'll finish out the year with a almost New Year's Eve edition of Nitro from 1997. Lots of fun stuff on tap, and maybe along the way, we'll talk about how many times a day you shit, whether or not Vince McMahon hooked up with anybody inside Titan Towers, what it might have sounded like if the Warrior hooked up with somebody there, and maybe you want a bird bath, or maybe you got in a fight, or I don't know. Lots of nonsense on today's program, but Tony, it looks like right now it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time, and Conrad Thompson bolts through the door of his house, fresh off of a fight at the bar where he smacked somebody in the nose, palm shot in the nose, and now he is ready to fight somebody else. And he looks to his right, and there is dumbass lazy Matt Coon, who's asleep on the couch. Conrad's going to go hit him in the dick, hit to the dick. Hey, we're desperately out of time. See you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesdays on Cumulus, Westwood One, but Mondays we come to you ad-free and only on
Patreon! Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. Stay tuned, boys and girls. The top guy, aka Low Key Big Hog Weekend, will be announced within the week. See you soon. Thank you, fellows.